article on her says
I saw the
that
guy.
she has a
He's tough. He
crush
gets that
on
up, man.
Ace. I don't know about that. I think people just saw Boy Bunny, Girl Bunny, and thought they were in phase.
Hollywood.
Like, ship and let ship, but I don't think there's any canonical romance there. Lexi is a descendant of Lola, and Ace is a descendant of Thugs. However, in every piece of media involving Lola and Thugs, they're couple. So if Ace and Lexi are related, and are only the descendants of one of them, that implies Lola and Thugs don't end up together and get with other people.
Annoying.
All they have
I
is
heard
to
it's
say they
like,
were couple.
oh, look
Or
at
say
that Team
that one of
Controversial
them
shit.
was a descendant of Lola and Thugs, while the other was a descendant of Mac and Buster Bunny. All I'm saying is that I have solved every single problem with these two answers. I think Lexi is a pretty solid character, but could have used more exploration. She still has a pretty lackluster backstory of not getting onto the cheer squad when the meteor hit, but I don't think that really affects much of her character. It's most likely a justification for her acrobatic abilities, but I don't mind it that much. I guess it doesn't really matter to me because I got to see a cool female character as a kid who was also the second in command of a team. I didn't see that much in 2005. Wait, do I even see it now?
Yeah, so
Danger Duck, voiced by James Marsden, is a descendant of Daffy. He is
Mom,
probably happy, but I would say
go
more
over there.
calmed down and focused. He's still an
Yes.
attention seeker, but there's a clear place where he wants that attention to come from. He will pay respect by the public as a great hero and recognized by Zadania as someone who could lead the team. He makes it very apparent that he wants to lead the team over Ace. Which just leads to the question of how Ace gets to be the leader, but that's a question I'm going to always have. Duck is also meant to be the second main character because he's a descendant of Daffy, but the show doesn't seem to remember that till the end of the first season. I don't know, I think they rely too much on following the Looney Tunes formula sometimes, especially in which characters get top billing. I say about a show that is meant to be about their descendants. Duck's actually got some awesome powers. The first being his quantum quack, occasionally referred to as quacking.
Oh
He's
shit,
able to
my phone.
short-range teleport, which has come in handy a lot. Although there are some continuity mistakes in what he is and isn't allowed to take with him while quacking. Oh, he can take a whole person in chair with, but he can't take his spacesuit? Quacky is actually kind of reminiscent of Daffy in his original screwball character depiction, so I think it's meant to be an actual reference. The other power that he has is Power Beam Randomizer, which allows him to summon eggs that have some random things in them when they break. I questioned how this works, but it's still the most unique power of all the lunatics. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen another power like it. Maybe one of the X-Men? There's a fuck ton of those guys. Someone's bound to have something similar. His eggs are also affected when he's around or near water. Referred to as Aquadense, Duck is able to fire blasts of aquatic energy instead of the usual random substance in eggs. It also allows him to control water. I wish more of the lunatics had special abilities with their powers. Duck has pretty much the same relationships with every member of the team. They all find him incredibly annoying, or he finds them annoying. A Google listener will like all that. Remember series over the American edition of chapter 48.
Yes, got you. Good way.
Okay, yawn. Really bored now. Stop chewing my sweet bean alone. I said that he and Lexi had a few things in common that could be explored more, but I kinda don't mind to be explored more since he's a sexist.
Come on, bitch. You a bottom, you a bottom, you a fucking bottom, boy.
You can try, but
You
they
booty
never
cakes are
listen.
mine.
Like, she can't do anything in this show without him making some comment about how women are crazy. I can't tell if this is a product of the show being made in the mid 2000s, but it still grinds my gears and just makes me kind of hate Duck in those moments. Duck at first seems to have an underwhelming backstory, which is that he was a pool boy when the meteor hit. I actually would be okay if this was his full
Okay,
backstory.
boy.
Duck talks himself
What?
up and has a massive ego, so I think it would be pretty hilarious if he had a really underwhelming origin. I think the writers were aware of this, and it was the only one of the Lunatic's backstories that is fully played for laughs. And many of them
Okay.
deserve laughs. It's also revealed in season 2 that he's an orphan who got adopted, and that episode is gonna be a discussion. Overall, his character isn't perfect and is a product of the 2000s sometimes, as well as a lot of copy and pasting from Daffy. They still do some interesting things with him, but I don't know if the answer is to make him further or closer to Daffy to make him a better character. Although Daffy is one of the funniest Looney Tunes, so maybe closer? Also, if he wasn't a raging sexist, that would make his character so much better for me. Slam, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, is the descendant of the Tasmanian Devil. He is another carbon copy. He's pretty much the Tasmanian Devil, but nicer. His powers are pretty much just everything Taz can do, but more. Aside from his strength, most of his powers can actually just be duplicated by Ren, so I really don't know anything about it.
Whoa!
His backstory is
Whoa!
that
I got you, son! You got your hands! You got your hands! You got your hands! Boom! Fucking uppercut top head, boy!
Same from person to person.
Oh my god!
They like him, but get annoyed when he eats all their food. I do think he and Duck have a pretty good relationship. They seem to be the ones that spend most of their downtime together. There's also comments made by Lexi which make me assume that they knew each other before
Go back
the
up.
meteor crash. Even
Beans booty cheeks.
a red light or anything. I don't know, something about that line makes me think that they were friends. There's really not much else I have to say about him. Tech, also voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, is the descendant of Wile E. Coyote. He's the team's
Oh
tech
shit!
expert and the reason that none of them are dead. I'm serious. I don't know why most of the team is there when Tech solves almost every problem that they have.
Whoa!
They can't beat the villain with their powers, and then they turn to Tech. That's how 80% of the episodes go. He's also one of the two lunatics who's actually different from their Looney Tunes ancestor. Like, thank God someone who isn't just a color change version of the original.
No, I'm mad.
This is probably why he's one of the most popular characters in the fandom.
If you drop me, fuck. This guy always is so tough, so tenacious.
Metal and molecular regeneration. The first one he doesn't use as much, but I think it's kind of cool that he can make shields with it. He uses his molecular regeneration a lot more. Most of the time when he gets hurt during superhero fights, but sometimes he'll get hurt on purpose. Most of the time when there's a character with the ability to rapidly heal, writers will just use it as a way to avoid consequences of getting major injuries. With Tech, they actually take advantage of the fact that this guy can turn to ash and be fine in a few seconds. Hey, this thing would kill anyone. The guy who can basically die and be fine is gonna take it. Both his powers and his spot on the team are actually really clever references to Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. considered himself a genius, worked with a lot of acid tech in the cartoons, and would basically die and be fine. I wish the other character's power reflected the original Looney Tunes. It would be a lot more clever than some of their ham-fisted references. I think Tech's more interesting relationships are with Rev and Duck. Duck is basically how he normally is with everyone else when it comes to Tech. But they get paired up for a fair amount of episodes, constantly butting heads and still hating each other at the end of each one that focuses on them. I don't know, I just find it interesting. Especially because Wile E. and Daffy are never paired together in Looney Tunes media. I think future media needs to take advantage of unexplored dynamics in the Looney Tunes past. There's a lot we probably haven't seen. But then there's Tech and Rev, which is my favorite dynamic in the whole show. I could talk about it a lot, and I'm going to save it for a little bit later. Just know that they are best friends and total nerds. Tech probably has the most fleshed out backstory among the lunatics. He was a student at Hackney University and stopped one of the show's original villains, Mastermind, and locked her away in prison. He was later kicked out of the university for projects that didn't work, but really
Get fucked out, motherfucker.
just as the meteor hit. I'm gonna go more into Mastermind later, but just know that I love that she has a backstory with one of the lunatics. Tech ends up being the most fleshed out
fucking you up.
character in the
Come back,
show.
put your pitch up, I'm gonna fuck you up. One.
He stands out against most of the others with a pretty well-developed backstory, not being a carbon copy of the Looney Tunes he's based on, as well as being the reason they save the day half the time.
Yeah, he drops you these once or don't you fight. Like, I saw about pause my defense. He's laying a pulls on blood, literally. He's laying back up, he's tough. Oh no, you got knocked out, you got knocked out.
Focused episodes in the second season. He does end up sharing them, but really none of the episodes have the same personal stakes for him as they did in the first season.
Yes, sir.